Hello, everyone! So just a few days ago, we finally received the third part of episode 107 of Skibidi Wars by Virulence, which came out actually faster than I expected. Because, some Skibidi creators don't seem to release anything new at all, but let's not gonna delve into this. Okay, so now I am going to make the best and most detailed analysis of it, and find all the secrets and Easter eggs that you guys could have missed. And in this episode, you're not only going to learn what will happen to the Speaker's Key and the Dark Speakerman, but also see one of the most epic fights that Virulence has ever showed. And I'll also point out to all the references and small details that Virulence included in this episode. So will the Phantom Queen get the Speaker's Key, or she will be actually stopped? Is the Dark Speakerman going to survive, or maybe something terrible will happen to him during the fight for the Speaker's Key? And what insane secret do the upgrades of Titan Speakerman contain? So if you want to know the answers to all these questions, then get your tea and snacks ready and prepare to watch this video to the end, because I saved the best part for later, just as always. Let's go! Okay, but considering that the second part of episode 107 was posted quite a long time ago, let me quickly remind you of everything that happened in the series before, so you could understand what is actually going on in this part of the episode in the first place. So the previous part started with the POV Dark Speakerman, who keeps facing one terrible threat after another. So although he and his new team managed to defeat the Skibidi mutant, no other than G-Man himself later showed up and caused us to run for our lives. G-Man's powerful green lasers cause a lot of chaos and damage the area, while also destroying the POV's jetpack and leaving him without Speaker Strider. So the POV realizes that he won't be able to escape or maneuver that easily anymore, and no one is here to cover his back for now. And just in that moment, G-Man appears again, which means that the POV had to run again. And in the process of this escape, we see that Speaker Woman is also alive and well, who still has her functional jetpack. However, their escape is cut short when G-Man destroys the part of the base's wall, and then gets ready to hit them with the lasers once again. But just before the situation became really nasty, Titan Speakerman intervenes in the best time possible and distracts G-Man. Amid all the chaos, Speaker Strider then arrives to help the POV, but G-Man's green lasers divide the floor between them, and we were left literally hanging in there. And although Speaker Strider grabbed us and tried to help us, it was all ruined when the Phantom Queen invaded the Dark Speakerman's mind while inducing hallucinations and revealed her sinister plans. She claimed that the administrators are weak and untrustworthy, and they were also hiding crucial secrets from their comrades. Then, she starts traveling the Dark Speakerman's mind where the location of the Speaker's Key was hidden, and we see a bunch of flashbacks from our past. And by the way, I have to make a little correction here. In my analysis of the second part of episode 107, I said that the female human scientist is the human version of Speaker Woman. But you guys pointed it out in the comments that it's actually the female administrator whose voice we heard in earlier episodes. And I believe you were right, as their voices are indeed the same. And the second part ends on the Phantom Queen, who keeps pressing the POV for information about the hidden key. And in the process of it, she showed a couple of more scenes from our past where we also saw the malware toilet. And as the Dark Speakerman keeps resisting her pressure, she decides to act tougher. And that's where the third part actually begins. Okay, so now when your memory is refreshed and you're all set and ready, the third part of episode 107 is already on your screens. But before I'll dive into actual analysis, let me remind you to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content I'm making, because I really appreciate your support. Okay, so if you are subscribed now, let's get back to the episode. And it starts with the Dark Speakerman, who we see from the third person this time. And he seems to be totally broken by the Phantom Queen's pressure and really exhausted. And we can also notice how his whole body was consumed by her white flame for a second, which makes me think that the Phantom Queen has been tormenting our poor guy for quite a while already before he finally gave up. And apparently she was not kind with his mind at all, so I can only salute the Dark Speakerman for his stoicism that he has been showing before. But after all, the Phantom Queen still managed to win and recognize the location of the Speaker's Key, which was the initial goal for both her and G-Man to come and raid the Speakerman's base in the first place. So the Phantom Queen says to our former POV, "There you are. See? It wasn't so difficult after all." And I think that she was referring to the fact that the Dark Speakerman transferred her to the required place hidden in his mind realm, where the Speaker's Key was concealed exactly. And then she uses one of her special magic abilities that allow her to reveal the hidden location right in front of her. But of course, everything is not so easy for her, because it turns out that the Speaker's Key that she was anticipating for so much is being guarded by someone special. And I'm not sure whether this big Speakerman is tied to the administrators too, somehow or not. But he definitely seems to possess some good skill, which would make it harder for the Phantom Queen to obtain the key. But she doesn't really think that he's a serious threat anyways, as she simply says, "Get out of my way!" But of course, the Guardian Speakerman does not intend to obey her orders, so the fight is imminent. The Phantom Queen takes a very angry look and then jumps right at him. But the Guardian reacts quickly and successfully throws his staff-like weapon at her during her flight. The weapon hits the target perfectly, which seems to shock the Phantom Queen a lot. And then the Guardian Speakerman gets his arm blades for a melee fight as well. And in the middle of all of that, the Dark Speakerman still remains unconscious. And I really wonder what's going to happen to him in the future. What if he'll actually recover within some short time and will come to help the Guardian so both of them won't let the Phantom Queen to take the key? But to tell you honestly, guys, I'm not so sure about that, considering what happens next. So while the Dark Speakerman was unconscious, the Phantom Queen decided to play according to the Guardian's rules and transformed into her Titan form, which looks pretty disgusting. And it also reminded me a bit of the final boss form of Madame Dimitrescu from the game called Resident Evil 8. And I can say just by the looks of her that the fight between the Phantom Queen and the Guardian won't be easy at all, and I'm not sure if he can actually protect his race's key. Plus, let's not forget about the general shape-shifting abilities of the Phantom Queen, which means that she can use more than just one form in battle, and it makes her a really dangerous and unpredictable opponent. Okay, but then the scene changes into another fight which is happening in this background consumed by fire. And hey, do you guys see this mysterious date, January 1st, 2024? And in case you aren't aware of what it means, you can check out the last video on my main IsoToilet channel where I discussed in details what this date is about and why it can be seen in so many Skibidi multiverses from different creators. And now let's move on. We can see the original G-Man who seems to communicate with his clones a bit before all of their deteriorated right in front of him. And the reason why all of them are on fire is quite simple. It's because of Titan Speakerman. It seems like two arch-rivals are finally facing, and it means the huge battle is coming. Titan Speakerman roars like crazy, and in response to that, G-Man answers with all of his lasers being activated at the same time. But Titan Speakerman is really dexterous, so he dodges them all easily and then shows G-Man some of his best kung fu moves that he prepared for him. But G-Man reacts quickly by activating the shield and charging through Titan Speakerman. And I saw something similar in episode 75 of Boom's original series, where Astro Juggerson used the same tactics. The shield is capable of withstanding Titan Speakerman's machine gun shots, but not the hits of his giant scythe, which makes G-Man fall on the ground like a cut tree. And man, can I just say how insane the development of Titan Speakerman was in this multiverse? The brother became a real Chad, and it shows, and it gets even crazier. Do you remember how Titan Speakerman got rid of his metal wings at the very beginning of this fight? Well, these wings actually came back with vengeance as they hit G-Man separately from their owner, and it looked really cool. And while Jimmy was busy with them, Titan Speakerman didn't play around and hit him with one of his MMA iconic leg moves. Then he tears off one of G-Man's turbines and flies up into the sky to do some unique fatality combination on him, while Jimmy is still coming to his senses. And wait, is this a reference to Stoic Bomb scene from KJ? It definitely was, and man, it looked epic as hell. And to be honest, this scene reminded me of Monster Up's style a little bit, as he loves doing such cinematic fatalities as well. And it seems to me that even Boom himself approved of the action in this episode, as he wrote "Bro cooked" in the Verlance's comment section, which is a high praise to say the least. Okay, but just when it seemed like G-Man was done for good, and Titan Speakerman even started polishing his chest armor, showing how cool he is once again, something insane keeps happening. As it turned out that G-Man wasn't done for real due to the unique structure of his necro body. And I think that Jimmy covered himself like a giant spider with his mechanic legs. And that's how he survived the explosion, although he still got damaged by it pretty badly, and we can notice it by the marks on his face. He then gets really mad and starts shrieking like crazy and shooting from all of his lasers that he has. And of course, this looks like the scene from the second part of episode 73 by Boom, where G-Man also got into crazy heated battle with Titan Speakerman. And both got really mad at each other, and then even started performing some, pretty non-decent activities one with another. And well, I hope you get what I mean by this, guys. So, Titan Speakerman tries to reply with a few heavy melee hits as well, but Jimmy really went all in this time. So not only did he manage to use his shield again and then push the Titan to the ground, but he also decided to, make the history twice and punish his Speakerman opponent really hard. And I mean it literally. This joke couldn't be used in just one universe, am I right? And well, of course, Titan Speakerman was not a fan of it at all, so he roars aggressively as soon as he gets up again. So G-Man decides to end this fight using completely different tactics. And by this, I mean this impulse of green energy coming from his core. And okay, if in Boom's universe this mysterious green energy could be linked to the secret agent himself, or at least it possessed some kind of manipulating abilities, then let's not forget that in Skibidi Wars by Verlance, the green color is being associated with the Necromancer's energy. So the first one of these green impulses seemed to touch the Speakerman's blaster while it was flying before him, and soon after that, the weapon became completely impossible to use. And while Titan Speakerman was trying to figure out what the hell went wrong, G-Man sent 2 more green-infused orbs at him with some really nasty smile on his face. And both of these orbs landed right on the Titan's arms and infused them with purple energy instead. And this whole scene was basically a mirror of the same event that occurred in the second part of episode 72 in Boom's original Skibidi universe, where Astro Detainer became manipulated by G-Man with the usage of this very same type of energy. And just as in episode 72, Titan Speakerman starts punching himself in the face as his arms are literally acting against their own owner now. And it also reminded me of episode 67 by Boom, where Titan Cameraman was also forced to hurt himself so he nearly cut off his own head camera. Then the angle changes and we can see G-Man's face as he was laughing menacingly. And it was obvious that he was enjoying the torture of his opponent a lot. So, yeah, it definitely didn't look good for Titan Speakerman at all, even though he got all these crazy upgrades and experimental armor. But fortunately, the third part of episode 107 didn't end just like that, because Verlance actually gave us this really awesome cliffhanger. So at the very last moment, we see how G-Man looks to the side, and his facial expression changes drastically. And now he looks not amused, but concerned, which is a good sign for Titan Speakerman. So I believe that at the beginning of the next episode, we can see some reinforcements coming to aid Titan Speakerman. And who knows, maybe G-Man and the Phantom Queen aren't meant to be absolute winners yet. And most likely it's going to be Speaker Strider with Speaker Woman operating him, which is going to help Titan Speakerman. But we'll see in the next episode, I guess. And that was all for today. And be sure to subscribe to my channel so you will not miss my new videos, and also to my Discord where you can contact me directly and get lots of info for my subscribers only. And that was me, ISO Toilet. See ya!